Cutting ties with a narcissist is a pivotal step in your healing journey. However, it's not an easy task. A narcissist will use every tactic to cling to, manipulate, or even retaliate against you. In this video, I'll share 7 common strategies narcissists often employ, along with practical advice to help you stay strong and protect yourself. Let's expose the truth about these toxic individuals and empower you to move forward on your path to reclaiming happiness. Number 1. They regret and beg you to come back. When they lose you, they may express regret, but don't mistake their regret for something akin to yours. While we mourn the loss of meaningful memories and bonds, their regret stems from losing a supply, someone who caters to their selfish needs. Like a child, upset over breaking a favorite toy, they lament losing someone who served, pampered, and fulfilled their unreasonable demands. A narcissist's regret isn't for the departure of a soul, but the collapse of a project they meticulously cultivated. They are like skilled hunters who've invested time stalking and studying their prey, you. They miss having a dedicated servant, a limitless ATM, or a side character for the play they see as their life, not a genuine companion. Anyone who can fill the void in their soul is a target for exploitation. Think back to your initial encounter when they wore the perfect mask. Through sweet words, romantic gestures, expensive gifts, or dramatic declarations like waiting for hours outside your gate just to see you, they created an enchanting world that pulled you into a fairy tale with a happily ever ending. But it was all an elaborate performance, where they were both director and lead actor, while you became the unwitting supporting cast. While replacing you with a new prey is entirely possible, it requires them to start over, putting on the mask and playing the role again. No one enjoys reinvesting effort in training when they already have a finished partner. Redonning the mask to act as the perfect partner for someone new is time-consuming and tedious. So yes, they miss you. They miss the servant who is gone, the inactive ATM, the enthusiastic fan, the devoted lover. The convenience and services you provided must now be sourced anew. They may express remorse or even beg for forgiveness, but don't be fooled by their crocodile tears. Narcissists don't know true remorse. Every word, text, and heartfelt letter is designed to deceive you into believing they've changed. I was wrong. I miss you. I'll change. These are empty phrases, scripted lines in the drama they've crafted. The goal? To test if the bait works. The moment you waver, they'll reveal their true self, dragging you back into their toxic cycle to control and exploit you. Don't be deceived by their false displays of emotion. Stay strong and resolute in cutting ties with such toxic people. If their sweet words and false remorse fail to sway you, a narcissist will escalate with new strategies, determined to pull you back into their toxic web. They'll use every trick in the book to manipulate and wear you down. What are these sinister plots? Watch the next video to expose the distorted ego behind these toxic individuals. Number 2. They launch frenzied attacks to elicit a reaction. When you decide to cut off contact and escape their manipulative grip, be prepared for a different battle. An onslaught of relentless attacks through every possible channel to force a response from you. This is when a narcissist unleashes their full arsenal. Texts, emails, social media, everything becomes a tool to bombard you. Hundreds of missed calls, countless messages ranging from innocent to desperate, to accusatory and even threatening, all aimed at drawing your attention and pulling you back under their control. When ignored online, They may escalate to the real world. They might show up unannounced at your home, workplace, or places you frequent. Like a haunting shadow, they'll follow, block your path, and pressure you into giving them attention. With dramatic, probing questions like, "Why did you leave me?" or "Why are you silent?" they aim to provoke, destabilize, and guilt-trip you. You may be accused of betrayal, cold-heartedness, or hypocrisy. They'll stop at nothing to force you to react, defend yourself, or re-enter their sphere of control. For a narcissist, arguments aren't about finding truth, but manipulating you. They thrive on seeing you upset, confused, and drained of energy. In their twisted world, you are merely an extension of their identity. Your departure is a crime, a blow to their enormous ego. To retaliate, they'll use every dirty tactic, disregarding morals, to drag you back into servitude. When direct manipulation fails, they quickly switch to subtler strategies, like pretending to be the good guy. Stay alert and resolute. Recognize their games for what they are, and never allow them to reel you back into their toxic cycle. Number 3, the pretending to be good strategy. When their deceitful and manipulative tactics fail to break you, a narcissist will switch strategies, donning the mask of a good person to re-enter your life. Remember, narcissists are obstinate and arrogant, refusing to accept defeat. For them, your decision to cut off contact is an insult, a challenge they cannot tolerate. They will stop at nothing, employing even the most subtle tricks to pull you back into their manipulative cycle. All it takes is a moment of vulnerability or a crack in the door, and they will seize the opportunity to force their way back into your life. They might start with vague, seemingly harmless messages, or bland conversations to fish for your attention. They may initiate a chat and suddenly disappear, leaving you waiting in frustration, or they might bring up sensitive topics such as children or family, knowing these are your Achilles heel, your weak points they can exploit. Questions like, "How's the kid doing?" or "Does the kid need anything?" might seem caring, but they are nothing more than bait to reel you back into their web of manipulation. Stay alert. Do not get drawn into these meaningless conversations. If you must respond, keep your answers brief, cold, and direct. Do not give them the opportunity to infiltrate your world. Don't assume coincidental encounters at familiar places like your favorite cafe, on the street, or even at church are just accidents. These could very well be traps carefully set by the narcissist. They may silently observe you, learn your schedule, and stage fateful inquiries, and tug at your heartstrings. Every warm smile, caring inquiry, and longing gaze is a prop in the elaborate play they are directing. When I say cut off contact, I mean blocking every connection, even with in-laws, mutual friends, or extended family members, and maintaining a strict no-contact policy for as long as possible. If you share children with the narcissist, maintain minimal contact, communicating only when absolutely necessary about the children. Use co-parenting apps to keep interactions brief and clear. If they send a message at 1 a.m. under the guise of concern for the child, recognize that this is not about the child, but a means to violate your boundaries. This is when you must stand firm and uphold the limits you've set. Understand that late-night communication or trivial questions are often excuses to intrude and keep you under their control. Stay vigilant. Avoid midnight exchanges or unnecessary interactions. These only lead to more complications. Protect your peace by sticking to your decisions, steering clear of temptations, and focusing on your own life. Number 4. They smear your reputation. When you decide to cut ties with a narcissist, you are not just leaving a relationship, you are challenging their fragile ego and control. This often triggers a fierce backlash, the smear campaign. To the narcissist, your reclaiming of power or departure without their approval is an unforgivable offense. To preserve their image, they will launch a calculated psychological war. They will swiftly enlist flying monkeys, mutual friends, family members, or anyone willing to listen to spread distorted stories. They will portray themselves as the victim and you as the cruel, heartless villain. These tales aren't just meant to hurt you, they are crafted to rally others to their side. Psychologists refer to this as triangulation, a manipulation tactic in which the narcissist recruits others to reinforce their control and isolate you. The ultimate goal isn't just to tarnish your reputation, but to make you feel ashamed, isolated, and alone. To them, your return isn't about love, but about reasserting their power. This behavior not only reflects their controlling nature, but also shields their fragile ego from the sting of rejection. Psychologically, understanding this tactic is the first step to protecting yourself. Remember, their actions reflect their insecurity and need for control, not your worth. When faced with a smear campaign, avoid engaging in arguments or explanations with those already manipulated by them. Instead, maintain your boundaries, turn to those who genuinely understand and support you, and focus on your healing. A narcissist may try to break you, but true power lies in your freedom and self-worth, which they can never take away. Number 5. They threaten you. After every other tactic, soft or aggressive, fails to sway you, a narcissist will resort to their ultimate weapon: threats. This destructive strategy aims directly at your deepest fears, pressuring you into submission. They understand that when all else fails, threats can create mental stress, leaving you anxious, unsafe, and vulnerable. They might weaponize personal information you once shared in confidence, secrets you trusted them with, and use it against you. Phrases like, "If you don't do what I want, I'll tell everyone what you told me," or "I'll expose everything on social media and ruin your reputation," are psychological daggers meant to scare and disorient you. They may escalate from verbal threats to invading your personal space, such as showing up at your home, stalking you, or even making implicit threats to your safety or that of your loved ones. This is not just manipulation, but a form of psychological abuse designed to force you back into their control. To handle these threats, remain calm and refuse to yield. Document every threat, message, or suspicious action, and don't hesitate to seek legal protection or support from authorities if needed. Your safety is the top priority. Don't let the fear they sow pull you back into their toxic cycle. You are stronger than you realize, and no one has the right to threaten or harm you to satisfy their need for control. Number 6. They flaunt a new supply to taunt you. When you decide to establish no-contact boundaries with a narcissist, their next move is often to flaunt a new supply in front of you. This is not a coincidence, but a carefully calculated ploy designed to hurt you, spark jealousy, and make you feel replaced. Through this, they aim to prove that you are no longer important and that they can easily find a new source of energy to satisfy their ego. Narcissists are not just emotional energy vampires. draining your vitality and emotions to fuel their egos, they are inherently parasitic and deeply codependent. They lack the ability to create their own sense of value or energy and constantly need someone else to do it for them. While you, through your empathy, care, and sacrifices, were once the centerpiece of their supply cycle, they now scramble to find someone new to fill the void you left behind. This behavior is particularly distressing if you are highly codependent, which may stem from growing up in a dysfunctional family environment or carrying unhealed wounds from the past. These traits likely made you more susceptible to the narcissist's manipulative tactics. However, what many fail to realize is that codependency exists on both sides. Narcissists are also a unique kind of codependent. They depend on you to provide attention, admiration, and the emotional sustenance they cannot generate themselves. Flaunting a new supply serves not only to hurt you, but also to reassure themselves that they still have control. However, the reality is that their dependency hasn't disappeared, they've merely shifted it to a new target. This doesn't reflect your worth, it highlights the fragility and emptiness inside them. Understanding this is key to avoiding the emotional traps they set. Remember, their flaunting or finding someone new doesn't define your value, it reflects their insatiable need to fill their fragile ego. Instead of feeling hurt, focus on healing and rebuilding yourself. You are not destined to remain a victim of this cycle, and you deserve a peaceful life free from toxic relationships. Number 7. They attack you again and repeat the manipulation cycle. Narcissists are relentless predators who never truly give up, even years after the end of your relationship. As soon as you crack the door open slightly, a narcissist will push it wide open to re-enter your life. Many people share stories of receiving emails or calls from unknown numbers after a period of no contact. On the other end, the ex-narcissist expresses a heartfelt desire to catch up, asking how their former victim has been doing. Those who thought they were immune to the narcissist's tactics or strong enough to move on often find themselves falling into the same trap again. They agree to meet, ready to forgive and listen, only to be drawn back into the familiar cycle of manipulation. Have you ever wondered why victims of narcissists, despite being mistreated, remain entangled in the web of love? The answer lies in the way the brain works. Imagine a narcissist as an addictive substance, causing your brain to release happy hormones. The more time you spend with them, the more you crave the excitement and intoxication they bring. After a breakup, you experience the painful withdrawal of this drug, longing to reconnect, to argue, or even just to hear their voice. Anything to get another fix. Scientists have noted that breaking free from a narcissist is even harder than overcoming drug addiction. It's not just about detoxing emotionally, but also reprogramming deeply ingrained physiological responses. This is why escaping a toxic relationship can be so difficult. When you commit to leaving a narcissist's toxic orbit, they won't let go easily. They'll deploy familiar tactics that once worked on you, and one of their most powerful weapons is love bombing. In a script that feels rehearsed, relationships with narcissists often follow 4 distinct stages: idealization, devaluation, discard, and finally, hoovering, pulling you back. During this final phase, they will try to rekindle the initial honeymoon phase, playing back the highlight reel of your relationship. They'll recreate the sweet words, affectionate gestures, and romantic actions that once captivated you. The narcissist becomes a master of seduction, reenacting the love story that made you fall for them. tricking you into believing in a miraculous transformation or true love. After ending a relationship with a narcissist, the first and most important thing you need to do is take time to heal and rebuild yourself. Breaking away from a narcissist is not just about leaving a relationship, it's a psychological and emotional liberation from a toxic cycle. This journey requires patience, courage, and dedication to yourself. First, establish a safe space for yourself, both physically and mentally. This includes cutting off all forms of communication. Phone numbers, emails, social media, and even indirect channels like mutual friends or their family. Complete disconnection is essential to prevent the narcissist from continuing to manipulate you, as any open door becomes an opportunity for them to pull you back. Next, reflect on the relationship objectively. Don't blame yourself for being caught in their cycle. Instead, learn to understand that it wasn't your fault for loving a narcissist. Your empathy, love, and sacrifices weren't wrong. They were just misplaced. Forgive yourself for staying in that relationship and view it as a valuable lesson for growth. This journey is also the time to rebuild your sense of self-worth. Narcissists often make you feel inadequate, as though you need to change to please them. Now is the time to reverse that mindset. Invest in yourself. Read books. Learn new skills. Focus on your career or rekindle passions you once neglected. This not only aids in recovery, but also reaffirms that you are an independent individual, deserving of love and respect. Don't hesitate to seek support if you need it. Talk to trusted friends, join support groups, or even consult a therapist to work through deep-seated trauma. Narcissists don't just hurt your heart, they can damage your self-confidence, emotional security, and ability to trust. Allow others to help you on your path to healing. Another important step is learning to set clear boundaries. These boundaries apply not just to the narcissist, but also to others in your life. Learn to say no when needed. Protect your space and time. And don't allow anyone to overstep the limits you set for yourself. Finally, let time heal your wounds. Escaping a toxic relationship with a narcissist is not an overnight process. There will be days when you feel free and strong, but there will also be days when old memories resurface and cause pain. Remember, healing is not a straight line. Every step, no matter how small, is progress toward a better life. Leaving a narcissist is an act of bravery and determination. When you distance yourself from them, you're not just freeing yourself from their control, but also opening the door to a new life where you can truly be yourself and find genuine happiness. Remember, you are not just surviving, you are growing stronger every day.